looking at other defensive mechanisms with North Korea acting the way that it is. Candidly, in Japan, I had the same questions from the Prime Minister there, asking about our sequester. So the fiscal situation is affecting us around the world, but there's no question that it's affecting us here in the country. And, you know, about a year and a half ago, if I can remember correctly, I voted for something called the Budget Control Act. And at the time, one of my hesitations was, is it really deep enough from the standpoint of cuts? And, you know, there are a lot of differing opinions around the state, and I said, look, anytime you have an opportunity to vote for any kind of spending cuts, you know, grab the rope and pull it a little tighter. And still, the uncertainty that people have just because of where we are. I mean, the fact that the Federal Reserve is continuing to, you know, expand their balance sheet. At the end of the year, it's going to be $4 trillion, expanding it almost as much per month as we're spending, more than we're taking in. I know they're not buying exactly treasuries with all that. Some of it's mortgage-backed securities, but the concern that people have when the faucet gets turned off there, and Congress has not yet dealt with some of these issues, certainly is affecting the standard of living here in Madison County and across our state. So I still view it as the #1 issue that our nation faces. Obviously, we have a lot of other regulatory issues. I do want to say this. I'm probably more optimistic than I've been in 6 years, 2 or 3 months. I know that, you know, many of you in the room, Jimmy in particular, you know, I've sort of commiserated with. You know, Jimmy doesn't have a job where he takes his dog to work every day and gets something done. I go to work in Washington, and sometimes it's been a little frustrating. But the last 2 years of my first term were exceptionally frustrating from that standpoint. But for what it's worth, there's something happening up there right now. There's more of a spirit of solving problems and getting things done, and I think that could well bode well for many of the major problems that our nation is dealing with. So, like that, the environment's getting better for solving problems in our nation. You've got groups working on immigration reform. You've got, you know, outreach by the White House as it relates to fiscal issues. Obviously, we've got to have more than outreach. We've got to have a real agreement. But it just seems like the atmosphere is better for solving some of those issues.